Here's Jeff Bezos' quote of the day. Life is too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. It sounds simple, but it's really a sharp filter for choosing who you keep around you.
Yeah, it is sharp. Maybe even a little harsh. So what do you think he really means by resourceful?
Not just smart and not just skill. He means people who keep moving when the obvious plan falls apart. They look for another angle instead of freezing. Someone can have great credentials and still shut down in a crisis, while someone with less experience starts solving immediately.
So this is not really about resumes or titles.
Exactly. Bezos built one of the biggest companies in the world, and the lesson seems to be this. What matters most is whether people can find a way when there is no clear way. That usually does not show up in interviews. It shows up at the worst possible moment.
And I noticed he said hang out, not hire. That makes it feel much more personal.
It does. He is not just giving team building advice. He is talking about your whole circle, who you call when something goes wrong, who sits across from you at dinner, and who helps shape how you think.
Because the people around you slowly set your standards, right?
Right. If the people near you always explain why something cannot be done, that mindset starts to feel normal. If they instinctively look for another way, that becomes your default. The wrong company is expensive, even when the cost is hard to see at first.
And this feels bigger than business now, because life is less predictable than it used to be.
Totally. Industries shift faster, plans change more often, and the idea of one stable path from beginning to end is much rarer. In that kind of world, adaptability is not just helpful. It is close to necessary.
Bezos has other quotes that fit this too, right?
Yeah, one of his best is, "If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution." That is basically resourcefulness. Stubborn about the goal, flexible about the method.
I like that because it avoids the usual just push harder cliché.
Exactly. And another Bezos line adds the uncertainty piece. It's not an experiment if you know it's going to work. Real resourcefulness shows up when the outcome is unclear and you move forward anyway.
Still, I can hear the criticism. Does this make people sound valuable only if they are useful?
That is a fair pushback. Resourcefulness is not the only quality that matters. Kindness, honesty, loyalty, and reliability matter too. He is probably not saying to abandon everyone who struggles. He is pointing to the long-term difference between people who treat difficulty as a dead end and people who treat it as an invitation.
So maybe that is why the quote sticks. It does not promise success. It just forces a harder question. Do the people around me make problems smaller or bigger?
Exactly, and once you hear it that way, it is hard to ignore.